front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSA.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappala and Rico Petroselli.
I like that music.
That's
very
nice.
cool.
Isn't it beautiful?
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, let's get on with this shit.
Hey, David, now, there's a picture of Rico here, and I can see his hands, but I know Rico's not here today. He has a political function.
A political function.
With a 5-star general.
Brigadier
General. So many of you folks know, not everybody, but some of you know that I have another show that I am the co-host of. We've been on the air now for 21 years.
It's going to be 22 December 4th.
I'm talking.
I like interrupting you. How do you like it?
The name of the show is the Sicilian Corner. And what it is, basically, it's kind of like, David, an Italian version of Seinfeld, right? I think that's
a show about nothing?
It's a show about nothing.
And we do it well.
We do. People seem to like it. So I've asked my partner of 21 years, a real Sicilian, Mike Lomazzo, you're hurting me, a real Sicilian to join us. Now, I want to qualify this by saying, and if I'm lying here, you talk to me, Mike doesn't know a damn thing about the collectibles world, cards, memorabilia, baseball bats.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, well, 100%.
So I thought, and John Taube, we're going to bring John in. John is on with us. So, John, I'm going to bring you right into this conversation.
Okay.
The fact that Mike knows nothing about any of this, doesn't that qualify him to be the co-host with me?
Let me tell you something. As a Sicilian, he's qualified to do anything.
We're a perfect fit. Yeah, perfect fit. Hey, it's an honor to be here.
So listen, my pal Mike, seriously, he doesn't know a damn thing, but I
feel on just to sit alongside of you.
What do you got there?
And I feel like I've made it. I've finally reached. What's the name of the show anyway? What's
the Great American Collectibles Show. Now you got your Rico thing on.
Yeah.
In honor of Rico.
Yep.
That was very nice of you.
The least I could do. He's big shoes to fill.
Very, very, very nice.
Nice man.
All right, listen, there's a lot we have to talk about. We have John coming. John's with us now, but we're going to talk to John in a couple of minutes. John Taube from JT Sports. And we have Scott Russell coming on a little later on from the Collector Connection. I always screw up that name. But first, our headlines. Mikey, see, this is where you're going to learn something.
Do you have a drum roll for that? Or?
No, there's no drum roll.
But do the headlines
2 weeks ago, a dear friend of ours, Brian Drent from Mile High Card Company.
I met him.
Right. We tape, we do both shows back to back.
Yeah.
And do you remember that Babe Ruth card that was sitting in front of me?
Yeah.
$2.4 million he wound up selling it for.
Shut the door.
There were you can
seriously?
Yeah. There were things. The Colorado-based Mile High generated $5.7 million in his auction, and 43% of that came from the 1916 M10 1-4 Sporting News PSA Babe Ruth rookie card.
What was the grade on that card? 8?
No, I think it was a. John, you remember the grade on? Was it a 2? Was it 2? I think.
It was not a high grade.
No, I think it was a 2
exactly.
And it went for that kind of money?
Yeah, big dough.
Yeah.
So when you get paid your vig,
explain that.
Well, some of the things that you do, like at the casino, at the racetrack.
That's not vig.
What is it?
Well, it's a recreational activity.
Is that what you call it? A recreational activity. All right, I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that. Anyways, congratulations to Brian. Again, if you want hobby news 24/7, just go to sportscollectorsdaily.com, our friend Rich Muller. before we get to John, one other milestone. This is kind of a cool milestone.
I'm learning so much. I hope I can absorb all your wisdom.
This is our John. This is we're entering today our 6th year on the air. This is our 262nd show.
Absolutely.
And we're very, very excited that because of the people watching us and listening to us on the radio and now all these different videocast platforms, we are entering our 6 years, and we want to thank you guys, 262 shows. So I was talking to David, and Mike asked me, he said, what are your best memories of the show? And we've had some great memories. I mean, doing the National, traveling, but there was one.
Does he pick up your fare? He picks up all your costs?
Absolutely. Takes good care of us.
What the hell are you asking that kind of a question for?
I get nothing.
What,
you don't even take me to Methuen.
No, forget it. You're not going to get anything. Forget it. But anyway.
How about breakfast?
No, you're out.
Nothing.
You're out. So we've had some laughs, and there was one in particular Dave asked me that stood out in my mind. John Brogy from the National asked Rico and I to do a commercial, an audio commercial. And so we came into the studio before the show, and we decided to do it. And Ellen happened to be there, so she filmed it while we were recording it on an iPhone. And again, it was just supposed to be the audio, so we had to do a couple of takes. David, can we play the first take?
Hi, I'm Rico Petrocelli.
And I'm Tom Zappala. Don't pay any attention to.
I just said. I thought you said don't pay any attention.
You're not going to say it.
Oh, you're going to say.
Take 2. I'm Tom Zappala.
And I'm Rico Petrocelli. Join us at the National Sports Collectors Convention from August 1st through the 5th at the IX Center in Cleveland, Ohio.
We're going to be broadcasting the Great American Collectibles Show live on the I'm begging you.
Son of a
I am begging you. He couldn't breathe. His belt was too tight.
When you let
And then we did it right the last time.
There you go.
I think you got it. Let's see.
I'm Tom Zappala.
And I'm Rico Petrocelli. Join us at the National Sports Collectors Convention from August 1st through the 5th at the IX Center in Cleveland, Ohio.
We're going to be broadcasting the Great American Collectibles Show live on the Burka stage on Friday, August 3rd from 2 to 4 p.m.
Stop by and say hello, will ya? And we even we may have a few giveaways.
That's the National Sports Collectors Convention. See you there. Now, when Mallory started with us, right, when he first started with us, John, we've been on quite a few years. So here's what Mallory looked like. JM, the first year we were on. Now, that's Mallory.
Wow, yeah, it is.
Now, in 6 quick years, we have made him a star. Look at him now.
Look at him now.
Look at Mallory now.
Wow.
You know?
What a guy.
What a transformation.
It's just amazing. Just amazing.
He looks like Mr. Clean now.
That's what fame will do for you.
Does look like Mr.
Doesn't he
Clean.
look like Mr. Clean?
He does look. He looks like a wrestler. He looks like Steve Austin. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve
Steve
Austin.
Austin.
All right, let's get to our friend John Taube from JT Sports. John, we are honored to have you here going into our 6th year. You've been with us since day one.
Great to be here.
And you've been a blast to work with. And don't forget to our viewers and listeners, we are broadcasting from the Studio 21 Podcast Videocast Center. We're on YouTube now. Please, if you go onto YouTube, it doesn't take a lot of work. Just hit the subscribe button. And you can go to the Great American Collectibles Show. We're going to be on iHeartRadio. You can listen to us now on iHeart. You say, Alexa, play the Great American Collectibles Show on iTunes or whatever the hell you say. Boom, it pops up. There's all kinds of cool stuff.
That's pretty neat, huh?
Yeah. Listen, calm down, big guy. All right?
I'm trying to control my emotions.
You're learning.
Tough.
You're going to learn. You're going to learn a lot about the hobby today.
You know something?
Why don't you put a hat on?
Get the... No. I don't wear a hat.
I've never seen you with a hat on.
I've never worn a hat. I don't even shovel. When it snows, do I wear a hat? No. This is no good. You know why so many guys go bald? I'm going to tell you. No, this is true, John. You know how many guys go bald because they wear a hat all the time? Your head needs to breathe.
I'm getting there.
I know, but you still got... Okay, all right.
I'm getting there.
You got the comb over. It looks...
That is
nothing goes on the head.
All right, fine. All right, John, since Mike knows so much, and before we ask you,
You know something, smart ass, I do.
I know you do. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you something, and I hope you learn. I'm going to give you an opportunity to purchase.
I can't wait for this.
I'm going to give him an opportunity to purchase a card that is a collector's item. This is a Donruss.
It's a what?
Donruss is the name of the company. Donruss Greg Jeffries rookie card, and this would easily grade out at a PSA 9 or 10.
Who's Jeff Gamasigama?
Greg Jeffries.
Who is he?
He was a baseball player. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't. I never heard of the man.
This is signed.
What would I care about an autographed picture?
Because it's signed by Staten Island Joe Marino.
Oh, that's different.
I'll give you this card. This card is a $500 card. I'll give it to you for $200.
What would be a realistic what goal? What can I look for a return? 15% a year? 16%?
Probably. We'll talk after the show.
You can't even do it with a straight face.
No, we'll talk after the show.
Jeff Jeffries?
Yeah, Greg Jeffries. Hell of a ball player. All right, we'll talk after the show.
How many years?
He played for, well, according to this, this was his second year. He didn't have such a great year. Well, he had a good year. He batted .321, but after that, he was a bust.
Yeah.
So why would I want a signed card from him?
I'm sorry, John?
He was, he came in touted as, the next Hall of Fame
Exactly.
great, and
So
never panned out.
So let's pretend that he became a Hall of Famer. I'll give it to you for $75. 75.
And it's signed by Staten Island Joe.
Yep. You keep that in the back of your
How
mind.
come it's not signed by Mr. Jeffries?
Couldn't find him. I think he's homeless. I don't know where the hell he
That's
is.
not nice.
All right, let's get to John.
He's homeless.
John Taube, bat. We have to teach Mike, and Mike has some questions too that you're going to ask.
I'll tell you what really bothers me about bets.
Here we go. John, you're on a roller coaster right now.
I'm sitting down.
Go ahead.
And maybe you can answer this, or maybe you can't. But when I watch college baseball, those aluminum bats, personally, I think they shouldn't use them. Number one, because I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but the barrel is actually bigger than a baseball
He's
bat.
asking, John, he's actually asking a question that has some merit.
Every dog gets it.
It's a valid question. Yeah, it's a valid question.
So what is the answer, John? Why
college always?
Well, he'll tell you why. It's an economic thing, right?
Well, with college, yes, it's economic. They're not cracking these aluminum bats. The barrel may appear to be bigger than the baseball, but it's really not.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more dimensions. The handles on the aluminum bats tend to be thinner than your wood bats, the maple or the ash bats.
Aren't they more of a isn't there more of a risk factor though, especially at the high school level? You would think, John. No,
the ball leaves the.
I think sure. Yeah. High school kids now are just as big as college in some cases, and you're talking about they're allowed to use the if it's a 34-inch bat.
Yeah.
They're allowed to use up to, I think with college, they're restricting it as far as how much the negative weight can be. In other words, a 30-ounce bat or a 31-ounce bat may be the minimum they can use. But, it's the bat speed. I mean, if they try to introduce aluminum bats into the major leagues, you'd have some fatalities, of pitchers on the mound.
Really?
I was reading that the ball actually leaves an aluminum bat 20 miles faster than does a wooden bat.
I would believe that.
Yes.
I would believe that.
So, like you said about fatalities, you don't have the reaction time to move.
All right, so let me before we get into these specifics, John. Then one more question. Then why bring that whole risk factor down to the little league level?
Exactly.
Well, again, you're talking about bat speed. At the little league level, the kids, you may have a big kid here and there, but at any level, there's no question that ball is coming off the barrel of that bat, at a greater rate, even in little league.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess you do have to think about, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids at what level has their reflexes developed
Right. I
at
mean,
that point in time.
I mean, that's again, because I've seen it. When my son played
Sure.
Little League, everybody had their own bat, their own custom bat. It was, and they're not cheap either.
Well, John, am I correct in assuming that in the early 1800s, people have played professional baseball, if you want to call them that, when it was the infancy? They made their own bats, right? Everybody had their own bat.
In many cases,
It
they
wasn't
did.
uniform.
You did have bat manufacturers very early on, one of which was Spalding.
Yep.
But yes, a lot of the players, they used a local mill.
Okay.
So was Black Shoeless Joe's bat, Black Betsy, was that handmade or was that made for him by a company? Do you know?
Now, are you talking about the original?
The original Black
The original
Betsy.
Black Betsy
Yeah.
was given to him by a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
And then as the story goes, later on, he sent it to Spalding, and they branded it with the old Betsy trademark.
Gotcha.
Black
Okay.
Betsy, rather, the Black Betsy trademark.
Right. Interesting. Very interesting. John, you have a ton of new arrivals. I mean, you've had a banner year. How do you determine the price? Because you're the guy that everybody goes to. What is the value of this bat? How do you base that, John?
That's a good question.
You can have two Mickey Mantle gamers in front of me, and I know one is worth a hell of a lot more than the other. But how is it? Is the provenance of the bat? Is it where it? What determines
Well, as we
that?
were talking, one's fungible and one is not.
Okay, that's a good
All
point.
right, but no, but I'll tell you honestly, the hardest question to ask in the last 6 months to a year is what's it worth?
Yeah.
Because in every auction now, you're talking about setting price records. There is a great amount of interest with new buyers, in our area of game used bats. And, as an example, a week and a half ago at the Hunt event, Hank Greenberg bat sold for $190,000 plus the buyer's premium.
God.
And that price is, exceeding, any prior Greenberg sale by at least 100,000.
Are you kidding me?
125,000. Don Mattingly, the other night, a nice bat, at the other end of the scale, but still the bat went for over $12,000 when Mattingly's bats at that level are just a few $1,000, at best. So,
John, I just saw that a Clemente Gamer bat went for $36,000. Is that right?
that's correct. And
Wow.
that bat, honestly, that bat was not really a premium bat.
How do you like that? Huh? All right.
All right.
No,
Yeah, I'm
no,
impressed.
no.
You did a little research.
Good.
No, you did a
something?
little research.
Come on, put it on me.
He
Put
did
it
a-
on
he
me,
did a
brother.
little research.
Give me a little bit of love here.
Now that you're
On the ball.
saying that wasn't a premium bat. So a Clemente Gamer that in today's market is a real premium bat. What are we talking? $100,000, $150,000?
Well, it depends. And again, we're getting back into the nuances of bat collecting. Is everything from a game use bat of a player would say light game use,
Yep.
which is going to be in that 7 area, as opposed to, now we move up the scale to something that may be recognized by an autograph on the barrel by a Clemente, and then moving up further, something that may be autographed and also attributed to a key hit in his career, the World Series. So you can have something on Clemente running anywhere from, I would say, $12,000 to $15,000, all the way up the scale to $100,000 or more.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Joe, why did you get so specific, like in bat collectibles?
That's a good question. Never asked that.
What
That's
created?
two good questions.
Why? What's the interest?
Two good
Well,
questions, John.
Growing up, okay, I played ball.
Okay.
And, not major league, obviously. but the love affair, if you will, with a baseball bat for kids that play starts when you're in a little league.
Absolutely.
You always
Right.
have your bat. You
Yeah.
move up to Babe Ruth, to Pony League, etc. And it's a very personal collectible.
Okay.
And the first time that I received a bat from a bat boy, that's how I started. It was clear to me that this was real memorabilia as opposed to a baseball card.
There was DNA on it. There was right.
That's correct.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
used
yeah.
by the player to
Yeah.
get hits.
Yeah.
And there was a handful of us back at that point in time who recognized the same, qualities of a game-used bat.
Okay.
And just since then, people got involved. We got more involved with the history of them, with the dating of them. Things grew, and here we are today with bats selling for literally millions of dollars.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but you were such a help when we wrote Legendary Lumber. That intro page of yours was just spectacular, and you and Vince. It was just really well done, and
Thank you.
You kind of set the tone for the whole book. So, and we won a gold medal, by the way. We won a gold medal. All right, listen, John Taube's in the house from JT Sports. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. A lot of bat questions. Bat questions.
I hear you.
That's the thing not the thing you throw, the thing you hand in your hand.
In the Little League, right?
Yeah.
First 4 games, I hit 5 home runs. Never hit another one after that.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, mile high. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rico Petroselli, and I'm very excited to talk to you about our new partner, Panini America. Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we're proud to have them as the official trading card of the Great American Collectibles Show. When it comes to modern trading cards of your favorite players, Panini America leads the way in terms of innovation, design, creativity, value, and fun. From landmark brands such as Donruss, Prism, and Contenders to high-end juggernauts like Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate, Panini America delivers the hottest trading cards of the biggest names in the NBA, NFL, MLB, PA, NASCAR, soccer, and college. When you want to collect the best, collect Panini America. Ask for it at your local hobby shop or at mass retailers like Target and Walmart. And you can always find Panini America online at icollectpanini.com. Panini America, who do you collect? How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Mikey boy.
Yes, sir.
With the holidays right around the corner, eBay is the place to go for all, and I repeat, all of your memorabilia, sports or non-sports cards, autographs, and much more. Whether it's a gift for that special someone.
Yeah, like cool.
Like if you want to buy me a gift.
I'm going to buy you a gift?
If you want.
You're the host of the show. You should be buying me a gift. I'm helping you.
Oh, you just want to add to your collection. eBay's huge marketplace should be your first stop. And if you sell, now's the time to flip your cards and get some extra holiday cash.
Wow.
$200.
That's a deal.
$200.
That's a deal.
I shop on eBay all the time. That's eBay connecting buyers and sellers globally. All right, listen, before we get back to John, our giveaway today, why don't you hold that up, Mikey?
There we go.
This is a signed Rico Petrocelli. This is the famous picture of Rico catching the Rich Rollins pop-up, and it's signed by Rico. And the Red Sox clinched at least a tie for the pennant, and an hour and a half later, they clinched the pennant watching the Detroit game in the locker room.
I remember that.
And we're going to be picking out of the famous Staten Island Joe Marino museum bag.
This guy Marino has quite a footprint in the show.
It's a hot bag. He bought this on the gray market, sent it to me.
Really?
Yeah. All right, it's enough.
I
You like
like
those
it. I
Italian?
like this.
You like these Italian players?
I like Italian players. I mean, are you kidding me? Joe DiMaggio. You got Rico. You got Johnny Antonelli. If it ends in a vowel, seriously, what the hell is there not to like? That's a good point. What's there not to like, right, John?
That's a good point. That's
exactly right.
All right, listen, let's get back to John. John, the classic bats, the Slaughters, the Eddie Murrays, the who else? The classic bats are real hot right now, aren't they?
They're very hot. It seems the bigger the name, the higher the price. There's a demand. I mean, we're getting, and see, that's also driving the price, Tom. I get calls weekly for bats of Willie Mays, bats of Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a few customers looking for Babe Ruth. And, it's not something that you can pick up the phone and just order up.
Right.
So when they do become available in a public format, like an auction, like at Heritage or Golden or Leland's or any of the other top quality auction houses, they tend to be setting records. It's an exciting time.
Just to follow up, Mike. So let's take Mays. Let's use Mays as an example.
Yeah.
Willie's 90 years old.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be with us for a long time. But he's at some point in time, he's going to be leaving us.
Yeah.
Does a bat increase in price after a play? Like Aaron, when Aaron passed, did his bat spike in price?
Well, when Hank Aaron passed, there was a influx of calls for his bats. The bats that really, and Hank Aaron, we're talking now an icon.
Right.
So a lot of the value of his bats had already been realized, while he was living. But what does spike is the bats, again, that are inscribed.
All right.
Okay. That might be autographed, that might be inscribed. Willie May and Hank Aaron, fortunately, was a signer. Okay, he would sign his game used bats. But then on the other hand, you take a player like Willie Mays, very difficult. Okay, very, very difficult. Mickey Mantle went through an extended period of time where he did not autograph or sign bats.
Neither did Ted Williams in his latter years, right?
No,
Ted Williams didn't sign hardly
That's
at
correct.
all.
He signed everything but bats, correct?
No
Everything
bats.
but.
Right.
And then there was a period of time where, towards the end of his life, the last couple of years, he was charging, or I should say,
His son,
John Henry, $5,000 to sign a bat.
just to sign the bat.
Just to sign
That's
a bat.
incredible.
Yeah.
You know something? I thought you had a sweet gig. Really. I really did.
Bat business, baby.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
John, you've been in this industry and this hobby a long time. What is if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. What is your one biggest sale of one bat? Can you share that with us? Okay,
I like this.
Hold
already.
on. Let me.
I like this already.
Let me restate. Let
names.
me restate the question. Can you share your one biggest sale that was public, that kind of everybody knew about, rather than a private sale? Does that add anything?
Well,
to it?
let's just say this. Let's just say that with the evolution of the hobby, okay, which I think is more in keeping with what's going on. Pieces that were valued not too long ago below $100,000. And I'm talking now about icons, Cobb, Ruth, Gehrig. These bats are changing hands in seven figures.
Unbelievable.
It's and that's privately.
Yeah, sure.
But these are collectors who, have they're looking for a particular piece and they're willing to pay the price to bring that out of a collection. It's really it's really a credit to the rarity of what these are.
I got a call. This is going back about a year and a half ago, John. I think I told you this. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to obviously tell you who the individual is, but you may have sold him the bat at some point. I got a call from a private collector out in California, and he's read all our books, Ellen and I. He's a fan of the books that we wrote. So he called me up out of the clear blue.
But most of your books, though, Tom, have been on cards, haven't they?
No, one bat book.
One bat
book. And he said,
what's the name of the show?
The Great American Collectibles Show.
Okay. It's a pleasure to be here, John, with you. I just want you to
Thank
know
you.
that.
Pleasure to be here with you.
Basically, the call was, I have Yaz's Triple Crown bat from 1967. So you know who that individual is.
Yes, I do.
So we spoke, and he said, I'd like to ship it to your house because Yaz, he only does a signing now once a year in Burlington, at the Burlington Marriott or one of those places.
You're right, yeah.
Right? So he said, can you get it signed for me? And I said, this is a monumental task here.
Hello, Rico.
I said, Rick, I need a favor.
My man.
I said, Yaz is going to be at the. He says, I know. So he called. I can't remember the guy. Dick. What's his name?
Dick Gordon.
Dick Gordon. He called Dick, and Dick had just passed. So it was Dick's wife, and she said, I get the bat at my house. And I'm just holding the bat. The bat. Ellen took a picture of it. I don't even know he knows. I don't know if Dickie knows that I have a picture of me holding the bat. But anyway, brought the bat down. There's 1,000 people in line. She says, go up to the front of the line. We went up to the front of the line. Before the doors open, they bring us in. Kyle is sitting there, John. He had an oxygen mask on. I mean, he was a heavy smoker, and he was like Remy, like Rico was telling us about Remy. Every time Remy was off camera, he had an oxygen mask on in the booth. And Yaz, I mean, he was like, he wasn't the most personable guy, I got to tell you. He
didn't come across that way on TV when he played.
I know he didn't, but I mean, Dick's wife said, hey, this is your triple your bat from '67, your Triple Crown year, and she introduced me. He never looked up, and all he said was, after he signed it, "Tell Rico I said hi," and that was it. Well, out the door,
and have a nice day.
Now, John, what is the value of that bat?
Well, I mean, that's definitely an auction item, if you will.
Yeah.
But I would say, and again, let's drop back to what I just said. Hardest question today is what's something worth? Yeah. I mean, I could tell you that bat, I think, is probably going to exceed $25,000.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And,
really?
Yaz is not, there's an ample supply of his bats out there.
Sure.
But that type of bat, that's the bat that every collector wants. A bat from his Triple Crown year.
Gotcha.
Okay. Very collectible item. Any player who has won the Triple Crown, when you can focus right on that Triple Crown year, takes on a whole, it's a bat in itself, by itself. Yeah. So that might be 25 to 50, maybe,
really
a realistic number. Yeah.
I know my knowledge of the bat collectible industry is very minimal.
No,
what
really?
happened? Huh?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
No, get it out of your system.
I said, no, really.
Oh, is that what you said?
That's all I said.
All right. I want to ask you, John, if a bat is corked and it's signed, does that diminish its value or enhance it?
That's a good question, because would somebody who has a corked bat sign it?
That
is a good question.
Right? No,
that's what I'm here for.
It's an illegal bat, though, Mikey. It's an illegal bat.
Huh?
The corked bat.
I know it's illegal.
So who's going to sign it? They're not going to own up to it that you had the bat corked. Who's going to sign it? Although you did show us a corked bat once, Rico and I, that was jaw-dropping. That's
correct.
We will not.
There's, as far as, let's say it this way. I think if you approach a player and tell him, by the way, your bat, I have your corked bat here, I don't know if the player will sign it.
Right.
I can't say. There's only one player who I know that would sign it, and he'll remain nameless.
That's correct.
I bet you Steve Lane would sign it.
Steve Lane.
They'll remain nameless.
Steve Lane buys his bat.
Generally, because it is a corked bat, they tend to be, other than being corked, there's not a lot of identity that goes to the bat. You see them, there's not a lot of player numbers on the knob. And that way the player, in the event that, the bat ever pops up, he can...
We have a disclaimer. There
you go.
It's not mine.
A large disclaimer. That's correct.
Hey, John, I noticed that you have a Manny Machado rookie bat. And is a rookie's bat more valuable than him 5 years into his career?
Yes. In a word, yes.
Yeah.
There's a collector base who focus on bats from that era, rookie bats.
Yep.
And also, as far as modern bats, it may be a little different because there's a sophistication even with rookies now that there is a market for their game-used equipment. So there tends to be more rookie bats of current players than you have rookie bats of, say, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, or any of the older players. Because simply at the time, they're, when they're rookies, they don't become the players that we recognize.
Right.
DiMaggio isn't DiMaggio until the late 30s, early 40s.
Absolutely. I mean, pitchers, right? Pitchers notoriously can't hit. But are their bats worth, you get Steve Carlton. Now, he was good.
He could hit.
He could hit. Is a pitcher's bat, does
if
that
it's
have
signed,
an intrinsic value to sign?
Yes. Yeah. There's collectors for pitchers' bats. We have a couple
just specify
who do business with us.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. And they tend to be rarer than your position players, simply because
And hardly used, John.
that's correct. And a lot of players will use a bat of another player. A lot of pitchers will use a bat of another player.
Oh, okay.
And in the 50s and 60s, during that era, Louisville Slugger actually made bats that were barrel stamped pitchers.
Oh, with their names on it.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Pitchers name just
Just says pitches. Wow.
Yeah, just pitchers.
Interesting.
Yeah,
They
that
would
is.
be, common models
Sure.
like an M110 or a K55.
Yeah.
Yep.
John, you repair bats, correct?
We try.
But no, my question is.
You mean restoring?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
we do.
If I have a cracked bat or a gamer that belonged to, I don't know, anybody, DiMaggio or even Manny Machado, why would I want that repaired? Isn't the bat more valuable as is?
Well, this is, I'm going to be swatting a beehive here. There's a large contingent of collectors like the bats as they come right off the field. So they would not like it repaired.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But then again, you have another large contingent of collectors who prefer the bat being repaired because one of the first things that people do when they come and see your collection, they pick up the bat, they want to swing it. All right. So it stabilizes the crack.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then when we authenticate a piece like that, it is detailed right in the letter of authenticity that a handle crack has been repaired or a chipped knob has been restored. So it really depends on the collector.
Interesting.
Do we have a commercial coming up? Or?
Yeah, we do it. We have about 3 more minutes with John.
Okay.
4 minutes. 4 more
I
minutes.
just wanted to ask you, John, pine tar.
Yes.
I know there's
Love it.
regulation on how much tar they can go up in the bat, right? Correct?
Well, there is and there isn't.
Are you Italian?
There is and there isn't.
Just checking.
It's the spirit of the rule.
It's the
Okay.
spirit.
So the George, obviously the Brett thing was that George Brett. Remember when that happened?
Yeah.
And he rushed. You've handled that bat, right? Or
Well, we've put it this way. We're handling bats. I have bats in the office right now that make that pine tar bat look like there's no pine tar on it.
really?
Yeah. And not only that, but the tar not only goes up to the center brand, goes beyond it. Brett's hands, you can see his fingerprints with tar all over the barrel.
Really?
It was an 18-inch rule
for grip.
before.
So the bat
So
doesn't.
the ball doesn't get loose and go in the stands?
Right.
The bat.
The bat, rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be 18 inches from the knob up the handle.
Interesting.
And Billy Martin forced the umpire's hand
Right.
by asking him
What a
to
pistol
examine
he
the bat
was.
and call it. That was when there was a written rule for 18
And
inches.
that's when he came out. He went nuts. Hey, John, I wanted to ask you, because we have about 2 minutes left. When we were at the Philly show, Ellen and I, we had the honor and privilege of doing the photo shoot at Mike Hefner's house for the new book.
Who is Mike Hefner?
Mike is the president and CEO of Leland's Auctions.
Oh, wow.
John, his bat collection was jaw-dropping.
Tremendous.
I mean, jaw-dropping. I was when I walked into that room, I was like flabbergasted. Just an outstanding collection of bats, and I'm not talking 10 bats.
No, I've been there. I've seen the collection. Look, Hef is he's a hobby legend.
He is
one of the more respected individuals, in the business. And, he has an eye and always has been for quality material.
I was just. You've been to the house.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been through those rooms. You've been through the rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, we were there.
has.
Yeah, it was just. We were there for 6 hours, and Ellen had to pull me out of there. I felt like I was in the Hall of Fame.
How many items would you say?
Oh, he's how many bats?
Yeah.
Or items?
Bats.
Oh, he's got to have hundreds, several hundred.
Yeah,
at least.
he's got a tremendous.
Oh, he's got it's 5 rooms. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
5 rooms strictly for collectibles?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, see, Hef, the great part about Hef's collection, he has not only baseball, but it goes from baseball to wrestling.
You know what?
I mean, to rock and roll.
Oh, wow.
And every area.
I had the honor.
Tremendous.
Ellen took a picture of me wearing Randy Macho Man Savage's hat.
Right.
No.
Oh, God. He's got a rack.
How come I've never seen it?
Because she just took
Bring
it
it
a
in
couple
Friday.
Listen, he has a rack, a huge rack of costumes that belong to just about every wrestler that ever wrestled, from Killer Kowalski to Haystacks Calhoun.
Andre the Giant.
All of
Andre
them.
the Giant.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah.
Just amazing. All right, John, listen, your website.
GameUseBats.com.
Listen, you are the best in the business. Actually, you're the only go-to guy in the business.
Well, that makes me the best.
Everybody always, Toby's name always, whenever it comes to a bat, Toby's name is always at the forefront. You got to call John. You got to see him. You got to go here. He's the only guy.
That's nice.
John, before we let you go, do you do any work for MLB?
We do not do any work directly for MLB. No.
You don't. Okay.
No,
All right.
they have their own authentication department who puts those stickers.
And what about the Louisville Slugger Museum?
Yes, we do. We communicate with them frequently, and we have done authentication work for them also.
Fantastic. John, as always, man, we love you. You've been a great asset to the
pleasure.
show. And thank you so much.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys.
Nice
You've
talking
always
to you.
been great, and appreciate it very much.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Take
Do the
care.
same. Take
No,
care.
actually, Thanksgiving's over because this is airing next Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed your turkey.
There you
How's
go.
that? Take care.
Take care, John.
John Taube from JT Sports. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Scott Russell from the Collector Connection. Now we're going to talk cards, Mike.
Okay.
Not bats, cards.
I want to learn. I'm trying to
I'm
absorb.
telling you, I'm trying to teach you right now.
Absorb.
I'll tell you what, $30.
30?
30, it's yours.
I don't know, Tom.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
My name is Davis. Please consider making a donation to the Jimmy Fund and Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and help stamp out cancer in kids. We have all been touched by cancer, but we can win the battle. Please make your donation, and remember, no amount is too small. The Jimmy Fund is the official charity of the Boston Red Sox. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Rico Petroselli. I hope you listen to my pal Davis and make a contribution. We want to make children's cancer a thing of the past, and with your help, we can do it. Just go to TomZappalaMedia.com to make your charitable donation.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden Auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we are proud to have them as the official trading card company of the Great American Collectibles Show. Panini leads the way in innovation and design with great brands like Donruss, Prism, Contenders, Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate. Partnering with the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball Players Association, NASCAR, FIFA, and college, Panini is certainly at the head of the hobby. You can find Panini products in major retailers like Walmart and Target, or online at icollectpaniniamerica.com. That's Panini America. Who do you collect?
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Okay, we are back, and Scott. Yeah, just calm down,
I can't
big guy.
wait to auction
Calm
off.
down. Scott Russell. Scott, first of all, I want you to understand that the gentleman sitting next to me,
that's me,
doesn't know a freaking thing about this hobby, this industry. He's a total nitwit when it comes to this. However,
that's not nice.
However, with that being said,
Not nice.
if you want to talk to him about Italian cuisine or Italy or gambling, the casinos, oil futures, breaking legs,
Just a plethora.
breaking legs.
Wait a minute. Oh.
You can go to Mike. But anyway, before we talk to Scott Russell from the Collector Connection, how about this is a
this is nice, and it's signed.
Signed by Rico.
Can I sign this?
Just will you hold it up, please? All right, this week's winner out of the Staten Island Joe Marino stolen. No, it's not stolen. John Shadell.
Hey, John, congratulations.
Well, John,
man.
actually, John is kind of a friend of the show. John runs the West Palm Beach Card Show down in West Palm Beach. Great guy. Congratulations, John. We will get this in the mail to you.
Nice.
Yeah, John does a great job. Great card show.
Can I get one of those from Rico?
You're out. Let's get to Scott right now. Scotty, how are you, bud?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. First of all, thank you for, the audience doesn't know this, but, we were supposed to record this show 3 days ago. We had some internet problems in New Hampshire. That's because we're in New Hampshire. That's probably mistake number one. But
That's not nice.
So Scott and John Taube were kind enough. Today is actually Monday, and we usually record the show on Fridays. Is today Monday? Today's
John and I got to have a nice little conversation.
Right.
so.
John's a great guy. Had you guys ever met?
Yeah, it's a Philly show.
Okay, yeah, John's a great guy. All right, so listen, let's take us through the auction. When does it end? Because now I'm so discombobulated. Because when does it end, Scott?
It ends Sunday the 28th, so coming up soon.
So all right, so November 28th, the auction ends. You've got a great auction. I do have. I'm eyeing 2 cards. I was outbid on 2 cards. By the way, now this is where you can help me.
I can't wait.
Can you shoot me 4,000?
No problem.
You mind?
No. Do you need it now? Or?
No. I have to. Will you take care of me?
There's a few points I have to add.
See, he's always he calls it vig. He's got to add vig to it. Unbelievable. All right, let's talk about the highlights of the auction. Number 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, this has been kind of a unique auction for us because we have we always have nice stuff. We always have good stuff. We have stuff people want. We have unique stuff this time. We have stuff that just doesn't exist other than in our auction, which is a kind of an exciting spot for us to be. I mean, the first one, and I know you've already seen it, Tom, but is the Rose Company postcard Cy Young. Now, you say, well, it's not unique. I know there's two others, which is true, but this is the only no-team variation. This was the 1909 variation of the Cy Young, and it's the only one.
Can you hold that up again? You showed us that at the Philly show. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful issue. Now, Scott, a card like that, what was the starting bid, and what's your feel? I know you start everything.
Our starting bids, I think you know about us,
Right.
Tom. We believe in the auction process. We have no reserves ever, and our highest starting bid is $25.
Now, that card, in your estimation, what do you think? If you,
it's flipping a coin. It's throwing a dart at a wall. It's we have the Mathewson also, which is there's a little bit more history on that one, and there's a few more of it. That typically sells in the 3 grade, which that also got for around 15 to 18,000.
Okay.
So we figure the Young is a little bit of a step ahead of Maddie in collector's estimation to begin with, and then the added rarity. So we're figuring 25,000 is a leaping off point.
Not bad.
And you start off at $25?
$25.
Hey, you're there for 4 days. Jesus creepers.
You see? That's the way it works, pal. That's the way it works. What's some of the other highlights, Scott?
Well, and then the other super rarities are, and this came in late, I don't think you have seen these actually, Tom, the 1921 self-developing strip cards.
Wow. No, I have not.
Most of these are the only graded example, and we actually added 6 new cards to the known checklist. So that is the only graded.
Hold on, you're telling me that there were 6 cards that nobody knew about?
Correct. There were 15 cards on the checklist. Our find brings it up to 21.
Wow.
And then oddly enough, with the articles that had been written on the find, somebody else popped up and said, hey, I got one of those. And sure enough, it was a 22nd. So the checklist is now up to 22.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
But yeah, 100-year-old set, and we're still discovering them.
Fantastic.
The new discoveries, too, were some Hall of Famers. Zach Wheat, George Sisler.
Wow. Very cool.
So, yeah, it wasn't just commons that nobody had seen before.
Very cool.
Do you auction off cards on consignment or?
We are almost entirely a consignment.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yep. I mean, that's what makes finds like these exciting. The Rose Company postcards, Tom knows the story. They were a find in a family store in New Jersey. They were shutting it down and cleaning it out, and they found them in a box. These strip cards were in Seattle, and it was a father had passed away, and they were glued into an album.
Fantastic. Now, you've got to, go ahead, I'm sorry.
To any of our listeners right now, if
Or
they
viewers.
have, or viewers, they have something in their house, they would send it.
Yeah, they would go see him at one of the shows, but you're
So you
talking.
have to present it in person.
No, Scott.
I fly all over the country and
Right.
pick up. If it's a big collection, I fly out and I rent a truck and drive it home.
Right. So you have to. I mean, you can't. It's not going to be a Greg Jeffries card.
No, not especially not signed by attorney.
No, exactly. No, it's not going to be that. But I'm saying if you have, they will, and not just Scott. Any of the auction houses, they'll get on a plane and fly anywhere.
So
They'll
and everything, mostly everything, is consignment.
I don't know how that works, Scott. Is it mostly
some auctions do buy to sell at their own auction?
Yeah. Okay.
But most of the big auction houses are majority
consignment? All right, you've got some Gaudis. You got a Ruth. You got a Garrick. Why don't you show them?
I didn't bring the Garrick out with me. I know that was the one you were looking at, but I
Yeah.
have a couple of very nice Ruths.
Now that
It's hard to get a feel for how sharp that is. But that's a great 3.
That's
How much is that one worth?
Well, he'll tell you.
We expect that to sell somewhere in the $15,000 to $20,000 range.
Right.
And then here's the 3.5 of the green Ruth. And that's a really sharp card.
That's a
centering her
very
just a
nice
little
looking
amount.
card. I asked this question to Brian Drent, and I want to ask your opinion on this too. If a card grades out at a 3,
right,
but has the eye appeal of a 4, that card most likely will sell for that 4 price or a 3.5 price. Correct? Typically, doesn't it sell higher?
Yeah, I mean, the greatest example I have of it in our company's history is the 52 Topps mantle we had a couple auctions ago.
Yeah.
Was graded a 1.5, and we got better than a 3 price for it.
Wow. Wow.
We got $46,000 for it because it was stunning.
Yeah, no, that's great. What else do you have? We got about a minute left. What else do you have?
Okay. No, well, we got some neat things you don't see every day. We've got some high grade, the W560. I was right. Strip cards. We got a Ruth and 7.5. And these are some of the more popular strip cards because they're actual photos. About a Walter Johnson in 9.
That's very
as
cool.
opposed to the crummy cartoons that are on a lot of strip cards.
Yeah, very cool.
We have a near complete set of the T213, the T200, sorry, from 1913, including the Yankees, which is a tough short print in that set. And that's in a 3. And you know, Tom, how hard these are to get.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
But then we also have, some interesting memorabilia. We have an 1895 season ticket book from the Omaha Baseball Athletics Association.
Cool.
Complete, never used.
Very cool.
Thing looks like it came off the press yesterday.
Yeah. Very
so just unusual stuff.
Something.
And then the big difference between us and the other guys, as you know, is if you need that T206 hooks, wilts, and good for your set, we've got
You'll
it
have
in the
it.
auction.
And that's the good thing about your auction house is that you really appeal to every economic what's the word I'm looking for? The budget guy, the high-end guy, whoever has it, if he can only afford a couple $100, he'll spend a couple $100.
Yeah, and we're helping the guy who's trying to build a nice, solid G T206 set.
Exactly.
Or in this case, we actually have breaks of 33 Gaudy and 39 through 41 play ball. So if you're working on those sets, you can get most of the cards individually.
Awesome. So people want to get their bid in. How do they do it?
Go to thecollectorconnection.com and click register.
And if anybody wants to put a bid in under my name, feel free. As long as, no problem. Just send me the cash and I'll buy the card. Fair enough?
What?
Right. All right, Scott, we love you. Take care.
It's good seeing you guys.
Take care.
Nice meeting you, Mike.
Scott Russell from the Collector Connect. Hey, listen, before we go, Mike, now this ought to be interesting.
I can't wait.
Why don't you tell our viewers and listeners about our friend Joe Drellick and the Philly Show?
Joe is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I'll tell you, he's unbelievable.
Hold on. You've never met him.
You know something? I've seen him on the computer, on the internet.
Okay.
I feel like I know him.
Okay.
East Coast Sports Marketing and Hunt Auctions.
This is going to be a train wreck. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Why? Right away I start.
All right, I'm
start
sorry.
interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
We're limited for time here.
All right, go.
East Coast Sports Marketing and Hunt Auctions are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show.
Not bad.
You're going?
We just came back. We're not going to this particular one.
The Philly Show from Friday, December 3rd to Sunday, December 5th at the Valley Forge Casino Resort.
Hey, now his ears perked up because it's a casino.
In King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I know exactly where it is.
I
know where it is. Shop over 200 of your favorite hobby dealer booths and over 55,000 square feet of sports collectibles heaven from the 1800s to present day.
Just read. You don't have to act. Sorry.
Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and
forget it. That's one of those words.
If you want
authentication,
yeah, that too. Are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show is family friendly, and all kids 12 and under get in for free. No charge for the kids.
No charge.
That's sports.
No vig.
No sports. No, nothing. Autograph guests to include Manny Trillo.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
I know you don't.
Steve Carlton.
You know.
Steve, I know. Pete Rose. Jim Thorpe.
Thorpe is not going to be there. He's dead.
Autograph guest.
Jim Taube.
Oh, Taube. I thought it was
Jim
Thorpe.
Thorpe. He's been dead for 70 years.
72.
Go ahead.
72. For more information, go to thephillyshow.com. Once again, folks, thephillyshow.com.
Very good, Mikey.
Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started.
All right, enough. All right, listen, all kidding aside, Mikey, thanks for jumping in. And by the way, if you ever want to watch the Sicilian Corner, you can go on the Sicilian Corner Facebook. We are on every Friday live, which makes it a lot of fun. Every Friday live from 11 to 12 Eastern Time. Mike and I have been on the air for 21
It'll be
years.
22.
22 years we've been on the air. So we have pretty good fun.
We have a good time.
We
Hey,
have a good
thanks a
time.
lot for inviting
Hey,
me on.
Thanks
I
for coming,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Thanks.
This is good, man.
Rico will...
What's the name of the show?
The Great American Collectibles Show. Thank you all for your support. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. And with that being said, happy collecting.
Take care.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.